Well, look, this has been the position of the United Kingdom for some time now. I think it's understood. To an extent, it's also the position of the European Union. They're saying in a different way, either the United Kingdom accepts our proposal on LPF, level playing field, and fisheries, or there won't be a deal. So these are two ways of saying the same thing. I think what people need to reflect on, however, is that Gibraltar is also saying the same thing. We're also being very ambitious about what we would like to do, and we are being very optimistic about what might be possible, whilst at the same time saying, if there are things proposed to us which are unacceptable, we can walk away if we have to, because that is better than having a bad deal. In the days of the withdrawal agreement, all of this was expressed in terms of better no deal than a bad deal. There's a different way of expressing the same sentiment now, and this is the reality of every single negotiation I have ever been involved in, and it's really quite normal to see at this stage. It doesn't mean that it's pointing towards one definite conclusion or another.
So where does that leave the future relationship being worked on by Gibraltar, and does it make a differentiated solution even more important?
So this doesn't really change the position in relation to Gibraltar, because we're working on what matters to Gibraltar. As I've said before, the best thing for us is to see a UK-EU agreement so that the Gibraltar agreements can dovetail of that. Look, if there isn't a UK-EU agreement, that which would have dovetailed off those agreements, if it is possible to agree those arrangements, can be freestanding arrangements, although that will be even harder because there won't be a paradigm, there won't be a framework between the United Kingdom and the European Union.
But without that, can it have longevity?
So the only way that you can do an arrangement of the type that we are considering, and I've spoken about already, an arrangement on mobility of persons and of goods, is if there is a lasting framework upon which they rest. That lasting framework could most easily be a UK-EU framework, but it doesn't have to be a UK-EU framework, although it becomes very difficult indeed to also have to create the framework in the time available, but that doesn't mean that it's impossible.
Was this discussed with Dominic Raab?
I discussed this and many other things with Dominic Raab. As you can imagine, this was one of the key issues I was discussing with Dominic Raab. We were also talking about COVID and the work that we've done together, and I thanked him for the support that the United Kingdom has given Gibraltar on these issues. And then I talked about a lot of the detail of the negotiation that is ongoing between the United Kingdom and the European Union, and the inclusion of Gibraltar, Spain, United Kingdom talks in that context. And Dominic Raab, all the way up at the level of Foreign Secretary, is fully appraised of all the issues. We are entirely on the same page on a number of the key issues on where there might be disputes. So where there are those issues, we've worked together to ensure that the Gibraltar position and the UK position is as one, and that train of communication and that working together goes all the way up to King Charles Street, to the office of the Foreign Secretary, and beyond it into the office of the Prime Minister in the United Kingdom, where Boris Johnson himself is appraised of some of those key issues, and there is a line of agreement between number 10 Downing Street, King Charles Street, and number 6 Compton Place on all of the key issues in the negotiation.